Welcome to this week's episode of On Film and Cooking with Kyle and Alex. I am your host, Kyle Hayes.
And I am your host, Alex Crawford.
Yes, and so I'm Kyle. I am the writer and director of a new film, A House Divided.
And are you going to be in it?
No, I think casting is the next step. I think I'll be doing casting, I don't know, next week or something, but I've written it, directed it, or I'm planning to direct it rather. But the big news that I have this week is that the script is finished. My buddy Alex here was actually the very first person to read it.
Yes, I have read it. And I guess we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show.
Well, do you have any initial thoughts?
Well, I was just going to introduce equally the fact that we will be talking about some cooking on the show today. I'm going to discuss a really great way to do steaks.
Okay, we will get into that too. But so the film originally titled Broken Hearts. Realized that A House Divided was just sort of a weightier title.
Yeah.
So
A House Divided.
Yeah,
that's what the title is now.
That's what the title is now.
Broken Hearts is gone.
Yeah. What version did I send you?
It was still called Broken Hearts.
Okay, I might have just forgotten to change it on your copy, but
how many drafts have there been?
The one that I sent you was probably the third or fourth draft.
Right.
So what were your initial thoughts on the story?
It's a full movie, full short film.
Mm-hmm.
Very full. There's a lot going on. Although, I see what you're trying to keep it inexpensive.
Yeah.
I don't want to say low budget or cheap, but...
well, it's not cheap.
No, inexpensive.
Yeah.
And that shows. It's like that you are keeping it restrained and concentrating on what works, like you said, dialogue-based.
Right.
Yeah, and some... dialogue, I think are you open to letting the actors sort of naturalize?
Well, not really. I have kind of picked those words pretty specifically.
Okay.
I would never say never, but I think that the lines written are good enough to serve the purpose.
Yeah, well, and you have a very specific purpose in mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, very full.
Full, okay. And you liked the way it was written and the plot?
Yeah, I also was wondering about traffic.
Traffic?
It was crazy getting here, right? Did you see that? Did you drive here? You drove here, right?
Yeah.
It was very intense. I don't know what's going on in this city right now, eh?
Yeah, I don't know either. I was on time, though, today. I had to wait about 20 minutes for you to show up.
Well, that's traffic for you.
So anyways, House Divided. We mostly follow the male and the female lead.
Okay, so you're thinking they're married now? Is that what's happened since the draft I've read?
No, the draft you read is the most recent draft, but I just forgot to change the title.
Oh, okay, because A House Divided sort of makes it sound like as if they were married?
I guess you could interpret it that way, but I wasn't thinking of it quite that literally.
Interesting, yeah. A House Divided.
There is reference in the story to the... You have read the script.
Yeah. No.
Okay, there is a reference to the fact that the couple thinks they're going to live together.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't know if she can, keep this facade up while they make the initial steps of moving in together.
I guess he's pretty set on it lasting quite a long while, this relationship.
Yeah.
Almost naively.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you'd call him naive. He's more optimistic. But, yeah. So we follow these two characters. They each have a friend. And, I think...
They think about it differently.
Yeah.
So it's divided before they even sort of break up.
I suppose you can interpret that. Yeah, you can interpret it that way.
And they live together.
Yeah.
So that's it's fictionalized.
Mm-hmm.
It's not you necessarily.
No, it's not me necessarily.
Not the naivety or anything.
No, I did. Yeah, inspired.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to start with something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I always start with something that happened during the day, kind of thing, to inspire what I'll be cooking that day. I was gonna let our listeners know that I got a new job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at a catering place. So that's really cool.
Oh, so you can get us a discount for the set or something like that?
Well, discount. I mean, things cost what they cost. I'll give you cost, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, if you work...
I don't even have to necessarily be paid myself, but obviously the catering place has to be paid.
Do you get free food as an employee? Or how does that work? I would think that would be the main benefit to working with food, right? They feed you?
Yeah, well, when you're on shift,
Mm-hmm.
you get one free meal.
Okay.
And so, what are you trying to say? I give my free meals, save them up, and use them on your set? No, obviously not. So, no. Yeah, no, I'll give you a sheet with the list of expenses
All right.
for
And
catering.
expenses.
And I think they do snacks usually on sets as well.
I mean, I suppose that people could bring whatever snacks they wanted to. Like...
Yeah, they can, but there's also like a table, I think, usually of snacks. I don't know what they call it, but...
The craft table is what they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. I guess maybe that was the original catering company that came up with it, because obviously you need a catering company to make this happen.
Sure. But anyways, the people on set, they can eat like whatever they want, but I feel like if we had some kind of meal plan, like you are the catering guy, like maybe that could kind of be your domain. Maybe that could be the way they could be useful.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'll come to you with a cost sheet, and then we can work that out, and I'll pass it along. Because I think it makes sense to go with this new catering company. It'd be fun to use them now that I'm a regular employee. I'm working there basically just about every day, and each day it's interesting because it's different. You have a different exciting new challenge every day. Like we had a hotel yesterday, a big conference thing, and then tomorrow we have a bar mitzvah, and so that's going to be a really interesting challenge. I'm going to have to cook kosher.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not the head chef, but I'm helping out and coming up with some ideas.
I feel like if on our set, if people have specific meal preferences or whatever, they can just take care of that, like themselves, I think. And I think if you were to just come up with some sort of general sort of all-purpose meal, that would make the most sense to me.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, we can once you've got a cast and crew set, we can survey them a little bit. I can take care of that. I'm pretty organized.
I should have a cast and crew in place. I don't know, within a week maybe.
Because you're pretty far along already.
Yeah, I mean, it won't take me that long to put all the pieces in order.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta sit down and do the work, go through some of the applications.
And what about you in terms of getting into like a daily job?
I think that my strength is really in like film itself. So I want to be a creator. I want to tell stories, but I'm also pretty proficient technically. Like I'm good on camera. I'm good with the audio stuff. So I think it's just a matter of time before I find the right fit.
So not necessarily all blockbuster films, but maybe commercials or...
Yeah, there's tons of corporate work out there for, a guy with the right skill set and training.
And so you're actively searching now, or because you're nowhere specifically just yet?
Well, I mean, like I'll browse the job sites when I have time, sort of thing. I sent in a few applications. I've worked a few contracts. I've done the odd weekend here and there on shoots. Yeah.
Okay. And it's some of that is feeding into the budget of this one, this short film. passion project.
Yeah, well, House Divided is certainly a passion project. You don't necessarily get into independent filmmaking to make money, and I think that everyone on my set will probably understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you mean?
So that's why
We didn't end up talking about this last time. How you were going to pay them.
well, work experience is like invaluable. Like I have a lot of faith in this project, and I feel like it's we can send it to festivals, we can put it online, and I feel like the exposure that my actors are gonna get and that like the experience that my crew is gonna get is so much more valuable than just like throwing a number at someone.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're pretty confident about it, going far.
Yeah, well, absolutely will. Like you've told me, we have a strong story here. We have a good foundation, a very well written, relatable story that I think people will respond to.
And then so like the casting is already going on.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be throwing up an ad online later today, probably. I think I'll get around to it today. And
I was talking to an awesome person just the other day, a guy who's got a lot of going on, and a really interesting character. He's involved in the circus a little bit, and
was he a clown or?
Well, he's a performer. Yeah, he does jumps and flips and stuff like that.
Oh, like acrobat.
Yeah. Yeah, him not so much in the air, but on the ground and that. He's actually got polio, and he's doing amazing despite that. He's got like arm holds, that he's able to project himself in the air with and do flips and stuff like that. It's really amazing, and I was lucky enough to meet him at an event.
Right.
And he's not an actor.
So.
But I was thinking he might be appropriate for A House Divided.
Kind of confused. Like, what did you see him doing then?
Well, that was at a conference. That was the conference I was catering.
How did you envision him fitting into my film, though? I don't really understand why you're telling me this story.
I think he might be something really cool for this project, because like especially if you're not paying people and stuff, you need something to make this film pop. If you want it to pop.
You've read the script, right? Like, I don't see how a relationship drama is going to incorporate a guy, a random acrobatic with no acting experience.
I don't know. I think your project could only profit from the presence of some real characters, some real charisma.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm certainly open to it. I think we have something really special on our hands. And it's going to take some work. I'm going to have to call in some favors, but...
Okay, sorry, I'm realizing that we're getting on in the time, so I should get on with my cooking segment.
I thought you already did that.
Which one? What? No. So today, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about steaks. I got a really interesting way that I think is going to throw a curveball at a lot of people who think they know steak. So this is involving cheese.
Cheese?
Yeah. I know you don't necessarily think of steaks and cheese going together except for a Philly cheesesteak.
Well, no, not at all.
But, and then peppers too. Peppers and a lot of nice sauce. Generally the steaks would be cooked to a medium well done level and marinated constantly while they're cooking.
Okay.
You want to get the peppers in there in long, thin slices on top of the steaks. And you can put some seasoning on top and all around so that it sort of keeps it together.
This sounds like something you could eat on set, right? Like, would you be interested in preparing something like this for my set?
Well, I don't know if your budget exactly includes steaks.
I'm just kind of
from what I've heard so far.
I'm kind of confused by this whole notion that you're so interested in cooking and preparing food, and I'm giving you an opportunity to do that. You don't really seem interested.
I love the idea of your little I don't mean to say little, but
yeah, well, it's not.
I've got a few opportunities lined up for my cooking, so don't let's not worry about my cooking, and let's just get it to the listeners. So then you can put cheese on top of all of that
Yeah.
and let it melt.
Right.
It's really important that the cheese be nice and melted
Yeah.
over the peppers, so that you want to try to keep the peppers stuck to the steak,
So just
so that it doesn't get slippy, sloppy
Okay.
while you're eating it.
Well, we can elaborate on this later. Maybe we can put it in the text description order. But
Well, and I
It's just
mentioned
for-
for your short film, I mean, popcorn is a good start.
yeah. So we're running out of time here. So I just want to. I figured it would be good each week if we touch on a little bit of cinematic history, because this show isn't just about cooking. This show is about movies, right?
Okay, so this is a new segment you're introducing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the whole show is about movies, so I don't see why not.
Well, movies and cooking.
So I don't know if you knew this, but today is the day in 1975 that The Shining was released.
Oh, wow. No, I did not know that. This specific day?
Yeah. And John Travolta was actually Stanley Kubrick's first pick for the role of Jack.
In what year?
75.
Again, did you say 75? Wow.
And
So Travolta was coming off Saturday Night Fever.
yeah. Yeah.
Grease?
Yeah,
Grease had been done?
I think so. And Stephen King ultimately hated the finished film, and he's very famously said that it would have been a better movie with Travolta in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Stephen King thought John Travolta would have been good?
Yeah.
Better than Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just funny how these ideas get floated out but never seem to materialize the way we think they will.
But something materializes.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong, it's a terrific film. I'm going to go home and watch it tonight, but
As you usually do.
yeah. All right, so we'll
Okay,
catch up
nice.
with you next week on Film and Cooking with Kyle and Alex. I've been your host, Kyle Hayes.
And I've been your host, Alex Crawford.
And we'll see you next week where we talk some more about my film, A House Divided.
Or Broken Hearts or whatever. Well, one, he's got an enormous social media following. And there's nothing in your script that says the character can't be disabled. You're not trying to say that he can't be in it because he's disabled.
Okay. I'll give him a chance to audition. I'll send you the link and you can forward it to him.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll let him know that he's got a really great chance. I won't try to give him any false
Don't give anyone false hope here.
but